Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Doc and Queenie Facebook Live every Monday at
High noon.
Happy Labor Day, Queenie.
You know why we can't ever change the time, right?
No, why?
Because I'd never be able to say high one
Just
or
doesn't have to.
high 11 or something else. I couldn't do
Oh,
it.
7 a.m.
Yeah, and that ain't happening. So yeah,
Nope.
keep moving
Nope.
on there. I know. And happy Labor Day to you too, Doc. I was looking up the history of this particular day, and it's not only U.S. This is the only one of the only holidays, but maybe the only holiday that we celebrate with Canada. That is a non-religious holiday. So that is pretty fun. So it is pretty awesome to celebrate workers, I guess, and then to give them the quote day off. I bet you've already been working though, haven't you?
I just finished about a half an hour ago.
Yeah. Something told me you'd already been outside.
Yep. Early bird gets the worm and then some. So I'm super happy because I am finished planting my garden for the fall. And
how ahead of schedule does that make you, or are you right on the money?
I'm right on the money.
Wow, nice.
So which is good for me because usually I'm late.
Okay.
I did miss a few points. I love Brussels sprouts and I missed it. I mean, it takes 90 days for them to do their Brussels sprouting. And and I missed it, but I'm like, I'll do it next year. So, or I'll try to grow it inside. I don't know.
Absolutely. Well, happy Labor Day to you too, Tracy. We are super thrilled that Tracy Williams is in the house. So it's very fun to have our friends who sometimes can't be here because they do work or have other things to keep them occupied. Debbie Miller, we appreciate you being with us all the time. So it really is so fun. And it's, Doc, it never ceases to amaze me. I'm in another group not related to anything we do, and I am still getting questions about, what is this Doc and Queenie thing that you're doing? And isn't it funny, after 3 years, honestly, literally 3 years of doing this every single Monday at high noon, people are now going, what is this Doc and Queenie thing? And I really do find it interesting, but it's a perfect example of timing. They aren't ready yet, and all of a sudden they're ready, and it's just very fun to have new friends pop on. So I love this.
I do too. We've met so many cool people, and the guest live has been fun.
I was just going to say that was a blast having Anna Laura last week. Wow.
Yes. And of course we'll throw it out there once again. We do the don't we do the wait 6 months if you've been on?
Yeah. So yeah, just so it's not constant you, but if you've been on and it's been 6 months span, then sure, heck yeah, that'll be a blast.
It's all about edification and helping others with their business and their reach and everything. Yeah. Someone doesn't know you, ladies, Debbie. No, there's at least one person that doesn't. We just keep moving forward, trying to get it to wake up.
No, seriously. Kathy Weaver, who? I thought you were Queenie. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I don't remember who I am. What time is it? What day is it? I've got to figure out what I'm doing.
And we've admitted, sometimes we're in other networking groups and you say Laura Christine, and I'm like, Laura Christine, that sounds familiar. I'm not sure who that is.
Who is that? I know. And then when you go, Kathy, would you like to share? And I'm going, is she talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It is very funny, the identifiers. And I literally, like I say, I have enough trouble knowing what day it is, much less who I am. So
Monday.
In charge, Doc, take it away.
Oh, that's scary. That's scary. But I do have, I had fun today.
Okay.
I wrote down a whole bunch of fun national days.
Yay. Okay. So did we finally hit on some good ones?
Well, I guess you could say they're good. They're funny.
Okay.
So I don't have the backgrounds to match them up because I was outside. So
it scares me to say that when you say they're funny.
Yeah. But you roll with the punches. So, but of course today is Labor Day and it's also Macadamia Nut Day. And I do believe you like macadamia nut cookies, right?
I am in. Yeah. Well, I actually ordered mine from Hawaii, to be honest with you. And I really do mean that because I love them. And I have this little teensy little circly cup thing. And that's what I put them in because I know if I just bring the bag
You'll
Two
eat the whole
television, absolutely. I love them. So I have a little teensy cup, and that is my weekly ration, literally weekly. And I keep them in the fridge because I just treasure them. They're so fabulous, all the way from Hawaii, and they really are. So I love that. So that's a good national day of.
Yes, it's also Spice Blend National Day of Spice Blend, which I know you're never in the K room. So
No,
spice.
I was trying to instantly think, where would I put spices together? And I actually do it in my diffuser, eucalyptus and lavender. So does that count?
I think they're talking about cooking, but we can since it's our platform, we can do anything we want. So
Okay,
yes,
good. You take care of the K room, and I'll take care of my diffuser.
yeah, so that's your favorite spice blend. My favorite is actually we're on a shawarma kick, which is a Mediterranean spice blend, and it's got cinnamon and turmeric and a whole bunch of
Okay, I could go there. All right.
of other yummy spices. So that's our spice blend. It's also National Wildlife Day.
So on TikTok the other day, I saw a bear wave as a car drove by. Did you see that?
No.
It's a giant. It's like this car's driving, and the family, of course, is alert because it's a black bear, and that they're driving along, and all of a sudden the bear kind of stands up, and the guy goes, "Okay, don't anybody this, don't anybody that." They're driving through, and they're not going to speed because that causes a worse problem. But they're just driving by. All of a sudden, the bear stands up and goes like this,
Oh
and
my
the
God.
guy goes, "Did he just wave at us?" And it's like being with Yogi Bear.
Need
It
a
was
snack.
they caught, yeah, seriously, they literally caught it perfectly.
That's
But it
cool.
looked like the bear was doing that, almost to the point that you want to stop to see if it needs anything. And I'm just going, oh my gosh.
Well, have you seen and I don't know if it's TikTok or YouTube's or whatever, every once in a while you'll see somebody that films a bear that gets into their hammock.
Yeah,
And then they're laying there and you're like, oh my gosh, they're pretty smart.
that is what we call too close-o for comfort. And I'm out. Yeah.
Totally. That's also kind of like the people. There's one guy I used to follow. I want to say it's on TikTok. He opens up his garage door and all the deer come.
Yeah, I've seen that actually. Yeah, there was a lady that did that yesterday on her patio sliding glass door, and she's literally handing this square of something to this, and there's probably 30 deer literally, and then all of a sudden she goes, oh my gosh, look at all these guys, and they're bounding through this little forest type thing behind her house. And so now she goes, okay, what am I going to do with all of you? And then she calls them by name, but it's these little square cubes of something. The deer were thrilled, but I was just like, I'm not totally sure that's a great idea.
No, well, it's unfortunately, they're gonna lose because then they're no longer fearful of humans, and
I guess that's true.
Get back here or shot or whatever. I mean that's
and
what
my thought was. If they get their food handed to them, they're going to forget how to go fetch it.
Right. And then I had read a story several years ago about it was a husband and a wife that went up to Alaska and they were friends with the bears. Well, they both were killed by the bears.
Yes.
And you're like, they're still a wild animal. So, but happy National Wildlife Day, Queenie.
Thank you so much, Dr. Laura. I appreciate that.
Okay, you ready? We're going to rattle through.
When you say these, I always get a little nervous, but I'm okay. Okay, go ahead.
Tuesday is National Cheese Pizza Day. Do you like cheese pizza?
I could do that. I usually put garlic and red onion on it, but I could kind of fly with cheese, I guess.
And it's also Be Late for Something Day.
That wouldn't work for me because I'm usually late for nothing. So
neither am I.
I kind of have a tardiness topic in my brain. Hey, Karen, welcome. Hi to you.
National Day of Ken and Debbie Legal Shield Anniversary Day.
Well, we missed that one. Happy National Day of Ken and Debbie Legal Shield Anniversary.
Do we have to say that really fast 3 times?
I hope not. I did the best I could just now. That is awesome. Congrats.
That's awesome. Wednesday is Coffee Ice Cream, National Coffee Ice Cream Day. I know we've talked about this. I love coffee ice cream.
Me too. I am in for sure. I could do coffee ice cream way too much, which is why I don't buy it.
Yeah, me too. And it's also Read a Book Day.
Oh, I'm in. Yep. Read a book besides mine. I could maybe do that. Okay, that's good.
Thursday is Buy a Book. So if you don't have a book to read, you can Thursday buy a book, National Buy a Book Day.
And doesn't that work perfectly? Because that's when we launch our H&P Book Lovers event on Thursday night.
True.
So I'm all over that. Good.
And it's also neither snow nor rain day. Now, I like that on the SNONW part. We could use some rain because it's drought-esque.
Yeah, I agree with that. I tried the sprinklers yesterday and I'm fine. I don't mind doing that necessarily, but it's a little too windy, so it kind of defeats the purpose and it dries before it hits the ground. So I am ready for some actual rain.
Same here. Friday, I know this is at your top 10, is Star Trek, National Star Trek Day.
Well, I will be happy for everyone who chooses to celebrate that. Yes.
Yes. And it's also Iguana Awareness Day.
Oh, now, see, I was hoping that you would mention that. I have several iguanas, so I'm glad to know that.
Really, I didn't know that. I don't know what to say. So.
Yeah.
And Saturday, I will have an iguana when Pigs Fly National Day is on Saturday.
Nice. Is it really when Pigs Fly Day?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. And that's when I will have an iguana as well. Yeah.
And it's also Teddy Bear Day. So National Teddy Bear Day.
Well, that's for Terry Ann. So that'll work out great. Yeah. I'm sure she'll celebrate that. Yes. She's a teddy bear girl for sure. So I love that right off the bat. Well, those are some much better days than you've had. Let's hear the next
one more. It's Sunday is white balloons, which I'm not really a big fan of white balloons. I like color.
Yeah, me too.
And it's also Grandparents' Day.
Nice. Well, there you go.
So
another great day to celebrate. Yeah.
Are the children or the grandbabies going to celebrate? Do they celebrate that with you?
Usually, yes. I get treats and visits and things like that. So yes, that is usually a fun day to remind them how much I give them all year long. And so I give them more. So it works out great for them both ways. So yeah, honestly though, it's a fun day just to remember grandparents and think about that too. How many people, I guess these days, don't have grandparents? Some don't have two. And some only have one, some have zero. And I really do think about that because in the olden days, it was grandma wears an apron and you cook, what is that called? Bake, sorry. You bake cookies or you bake pie crust or you bake something. And I don't know if your grandma ever did this, but my grandma, when she would actually bake pies, she made her own crust. Don't get me started on that. And so then if there was dough left over, she would make it into strips, like 6-inch, 1-inch by 6-inch kind of strips, and bake those and put cinnamon sugar on them. And that was our treat because we couldn't have the pie because that was for company. And so, and of course I looked at all that. And even back then I was looking at the time and effort it takes. And I just thought, you know what, even as a kid, I think I thought early on that is not a good fit for my time situation.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work. You know, I had a baking business, and yes, it takes a lot of work.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Holy moly.
And it's gone in 5 seconds too. You know, after you've gone through all that work, then it's gone in 5 seconds.
Right. That's the rest of the story. You do all this fabulous la-di-da preparation, and it's so beautiful, and everything is just aesthetically pleasing. And then everybody snarfs it in 10 seconds, and they hit the road, and then you're left with all the mess. And so none of it's a good fit for me.
So Debbie really gets to go to Grandparents' Day at school on Friday. That'll be fun.
Super fun. Absolutely. And Terry Ann celebrates every day. We know that. That girl is a celebrator for sure. Not only her brand new tiara that she got at the Princess Diana Museum in Las Vegas, but she celebrates teddy bears and everything. So that is so true.
Very cool. Very cool. So Queenie, it looks like it's time for, let's do the word of the day. Doc and Queenie word of the day thing.
The word of the day. Well, we will see if technology labors with us on Labor Day. What do you think, Doc?
I think it will because nobody else is working.
Okay. That's a very good point. Yeah, that is a very good point. So let's see if that's true. All right. Doc and Queenie, words have meaning. I'm going to shuffle 7 times in honor of your 7.
Thank you.
All right. And let's find out what our word for today will be. Those were some pretty good national days of, though. That was nice.
They were fun. You know, it's nice to have something to talk about because we've been hitting the wall for quite a while.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. As you saw, the word of today that the wheel chose is leader.
Leader.
Uh-huh.
So what does leader mean to you, Queenie?
For me, it's kind of lead, follow, or get out of the way. And so I have said that before in my own brain. I don't say that to people, but my thing is really lead, follow, or get out of the way. What are you going to do? What is your purpose? What is your plan? Do you have a plan? What's your agenda? Bam, 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 bam. And so that's for me, as every time I hear leader, it's lead, follow, or get out of the way. And there's such a big difference between a leader and a manager in my brain. And so we had this discussion on one of the groups I'm in on Friday. It's a Christian women's group, Coffee, Collaborate, and Connect. And so I felt that the leader piece is do it with the people and not just tell them what to do. So don't give somebody a load of fish and feed them. Teach them how to fish. And don't tell someone the answer to a question. Take them to you. Like, how long does it take Kangen water to work? That's a biggie. Or why is Kangen water different? Or whatever the Kangen water question is. Well, hopefully I can answer the Kangen water questions. So in the olden days, my brain went to, if I answer the question for you and respond, I have taught you absolutely nothing other than come to me when you have a question. If I get, and even back then I don't even know that we had screen share options, but in the 2008s, but I would have said, are you near your computer? Yeah. Excellent. Get on your computer, and I'd get on mine too, and get on your computer and let's find it together. And so now I taught them to not need me. And so, and not for a bad reason, but if I'm unavailable and they need an answer, I don't want to delay people. And I'm always thinking in terms of time management and time effectiveness. And so I did not want someone to have to wait on me to get to my email or get to my text or be able to answer the phone, because my schedule, luckily, has always been a little filled. And so I don't want someone to wait on me. So I teach them how to find the answer to rely on this website or this domain or this search engine or whatever we're doing. And so leader for me is teach someone how to also be a leader.
That is very similar to my opinion. And, I'm probably saying the same thing in different words. If you don't lead and you provide you fish for the person all the time. I love that reference. You're creating somebody that's dependent. And
that's right.
We can segue into, I'm kind of doing a rabbit trail, but that segues into what's your succession plan? So you have these people that are dependent on you, and you go away, they're gonna sink, because they don't know how to do whatever or research whatever, because they've been dependent on you as a not leader, really. So yeah, to me, a leader teaches a person how to fish. A leader is in the trenches with their group. They've been there, done that, and they're giving back to others. And they're constantly giving back to others, and they're also what I see out there. They're never offended. They take the time to teach people to fish, all of those kinds of things. But yeah, we don't, and I've noticed it a lot in my gardening business, definitely in my naturopathy business, because and here's the difference. And I guess you could this would be kind of the same thing. I'm a naturopath that I'm not a health coach. I'm not going to hold your hand. I will give you the recipe and tell you where to find it. And then you have to, it's up to you to, your health is your thing. It's not mine. It's that kind of thing. So I've had that a lot in the naturopathy. I've had that a lot in the gardening thing too. People asking all of these questions. And I've done the flip of, well, if you research it, you'll find out,
Yeah. And both of your industries, by the way, are not instant. The naturopathy piece, I imagine in your chronic illness topic, you didn't get well overnight.
No.
And definitely, even from your videos that you do, gardening doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You
And the videos won't happen overnight either.
Yeah, that's a good one. You prepare the soil, you plant the seed, you water the seed, you sunshine the seed, you nurture the seed, you weed the seed. Finally, this plant grows. You make sure that everything is safe with it as far as varmints, and then you harvest it, and then you prepare it. So nothing that you do is actually instant. And I think that is a perfect message because everybody does want an instant. And I am definitely not a coach. I'm a trainer. And I will train all day long. I love the training piece of my business, but I also wanted to mention the duplication piece. As a leader, if I answered the question and told people like what they want to hear the answer, like they want it right now kind of thing, I have taught them nothing, but I also have taught them to make their people, their team, reliant on them. And so then I create a vicious cycle if I do that. So all of a sudden, by teaching the leader, the other leader, the duplicated leader, where to find something and then how to teach the people who ask the question. That's why very seldom do I ask a question, answer a question. I usually would say, well, that's interesting. Let's find out the answer together. And I really mean that because the duplication piece is so huge for me. And that's another topic. I had a very, 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 very prestigious person attend one of my groups last week, and super sweet, amazing, powerful woman, incredible story. And all of a sudden she pops onto one of my networking events. And I instantly was like, oh, I'm awestruck. She is one of those celebrity types that you're just sitting here going, what in heaven's name are you doing here? And she's just gracious and fabulous and gregarious and participatory. I can't say enough nice about her, but that was a message also. The bigger they are, usually the nicer they are. And for her to attend the event, and again, I put her in a breakout room anticipating that she would say, I'll stay with you. She didn't. And I was like, oh my gosh, she is the coolest person ever. And she is. And so that spoke volumes to me from a leadership standpoint. I want to participate. I didn't come here to be observed. I came here to network. And that was just a huge message for me from a standpoint of get involved, be engaged, participate, and get to meet new people because we're all in this together. She's a great message.
Well, in leaders, it doesn't matter if you're, like you're saying, that celebrity person, that level, or, I mean, we can all be leaders at whatever level we're at. It doesn't mean that you have to have 5 million followers and have this, business with 500 people underneath you.
Yep.
It's a one person at a time, and we don't, and that kind of ties into the people are watching. You just never know who's watching and paying attention either.
No,
So,
I was blown away actually. And that's a great message. And I think leadership, for those of you watching with us today, it's back to that same drill. Since people are always watching, what's the message that they are getting from you? And kids are watching, grandkids are watching. It's just always very interesting that people are watching. And it's they want to know that you're involved, not only in your community, but definitely in your company. And it's very awesome, especially for me after 16 years. And I know you've been in your business over 40 years. It's back to the same thing about, are you still doing that water thing? And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't give this up for anything. And then for your friends to be able to say, are you still like gardening? And I would imagine you would say, I am in the construction field now, but yes. And so it's interesting that people are surprised at our longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I don't know.
Well, sometimes you're not paying attention, and then it occurs to them like, oh yeah, I remember when you were doing this or that. Yeah. So, yep. So that was a good word.
Some people float around with their businesses, and that's always a surprise to me, I guess you would say. When I find something I love, I'm passionate about, I have seen results. That's kind of my thing. I do have to see results, and I got my results pretty instantly. I wouldn't be looking necessarily for something else. The good news is people come to me with just about everything. Have you heard there's that you need to take a look at? I usually take a look at it. I want to know what's out there so I can answer the next question that comes up.
Right.
But I always think of that from a standpoint of leadership. What would cause, I guess you would say, someone who's not dedicated to their business to flit around? That's the piece. I wouldn't have joined something random haphazard if I wasn't positive that I would love it forever. And luckily for these 16 years, that's my forever, and it's working.
Well, and I think that's that, like we talk about the expectation piece. It ties into the want it now, want it quickly,
true.
Want your success now. And, there's a lot of companies out there that are hanging that carrot out to, look at, what the money you can make and this and that. And I think sometimes people forget that it's hard work.
Gosh.
It's no matter what business you're in, it's hard work, and it's
Absolutely.
consistency. And, and I think, I wonder, I shouldn't say I think, I just wonder the people that flit and jump from this business to that, and it's something new every 6 months. I just wonder if it's the expectation, or maybe they don't know what they want, or maybe they're just trying to chase the almighty dollar, and they're grabbing that carrot thinking that, well, I can be successful, for this next business or whatever.
What would happen, Doc, if they are jumping to find the easy? Maybe that's the flit.
Maybe that, but it's still, I don't see where the easy comes in.
I don't either, but that's why they keep
to make the effort,
they keep grasping, and they keep changing, and they keep flitting, because they know, I guess maybe we make it look easy. I don't know if that's the deal, but we make it look easy. So they think it is. And I am here to tell you it ain't. But bigger than that, maybe that's what they're after, is the easy. If I do this, I can make $1 zillion. If I do that, I can make $1 zillion. And then they get into it and find out that wasn't the point. And I guess you're right about the expectation, because maybe that's what they get into it for. And that's why they get disappointed.
Maybe. I don't, that's interesting. But yeah, I don't, for me, of course, I work hard physically, and then it's taken several years to get to the point where I'm at. And it's still not, of course, still not where my expectation, it's still not where I want it to be.
Okay. Well, hang on a second, because I happen to know, because I stalk you. Would you have anticipated even 6 months ago that you would have gotten the number of views that you have already on your YouTube channel?
Oh, no, YouTube was just YouTube.
Okay. And so please know that we all are aware that your success journey has been work involved times 1,000,000, and your expectation was not YouTube-esque, and all of a sudden you are absolutely exploding. And I think that is the coolest thing ever to watch. How many views do you have right now?
49,517.
But who's counting? And so honestly, that is fantastic. And I don't think your expectation would have been anywhere near that. Is that true?
Well, no, honestly, I don't have an expectation.
Okay, that's good.
Because I'm learning, and maybe I'll always have that approach. Everything I do, I learn. Yes, I've gardened for 40 plus years, even though I'm only 29. I don't know how that works, but but I'm learning all the time, and I actually get more of a thrill out of learning and trying new things than I do with, it is fun to watch the bars go up and make the videos and all of that. But I really don't have an expectation, because it's going to go where it's going to go. And then I believe, when God's ready to take it to the next level, it'll go to the next level. I mean, he's taken me to this level with the views and the YouTube.
That was actually one of my Bible studies this morning. Pops up automatically in my email. I can't right now think of exactly who it is, but that was exactly what was in there. And yes, Debbie, 29, and we're sticking to it. But it was one of the Bible study pieces of God might not be ready yet for this piece of your journey yet to explode. And so don't give up. The answer is this is the preparation time. And then another Bible study I was in over the weekend was, why do bad things happen to good people? And I've heard a lot of people say that. We just had a 12-year-old pass away actually in our network. And needless to say, the parents are, oh my gosh, the family is the front. It's bad. But the good news is they're believers and they went to church yesterday. He just died on Friday. And so they went to church on Sunday to be fed by their congregation, because they knew exactly what they needed. Because yes, they know where he is, but that is especially at the early part of the grief journey, that is seldom a comfort blanket, shall we say. And so it's back to that same drill. What is your expectation? And do you expect things to be instant, or do you choose to work for them? And maybe that's why people do flit. They want everything fast, fast, fast. And that's not how God, at least not for me, how he works. The answers to prayer that I've experienced recently are ginormous. And that leads me to, you can't outgive God.
Right.
But it's not instant.
Right. Well, it's the definition of journey is not like you get it all right today, right now, at the minute you want it.
Correct.
And God's not Santa Claus either.
Yeah. I have heard that. Yeah.
It's a journey, and it's and I've said this before, or I used to say this. I should have done this. I should on myself. And one of my phrases, I never shoulda, woulda, or coulda on myself, but I should have done this 10 years ago. And then I think, and I'm like, well, I wasn't ready 10 years ago.
Correct.
He didn't move the pieces into my life I'm ready now for whatever it is that I'm ready for, whether I know it or not. So the expectation piece, as far as anything, even with my business, is it's open-ended, because it could change tomorrow. Who knows? It could change 5 seconds from now. It's fun to watch. I mean, especially the YouTube stuff. That's fun. So
it would have to be. And that's why I say I stalk you, so I get to see your views, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I remember all of a sudden you've got 23 and 27 and 39 and 54. And all of a sudden you've got big subscribers and big views and big following. And it's very awesome to see you quoted from other people. There's this kitchen garden expert, and I, of course, go, tell me about that. And so it's very fun to see you quoted in other platforms.
Thank you. Hey, Queenie, should we do the next wheel? Are we on a wheel today? Are we wheel happy?
We can we can be as wheel happy as you would like. All right, Doc and Queenie, let's see if I know who those folks are.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
They're great singers.
Right. Seriously. All right.
This will be fun.
This wheel. I know. I can't wait. Oh, now this is a good one. We haven't talked much about this ever.
No, we haven't.
Nice. All right. It's you, Doc.
I'm first, huh?
Yeah.
Blog posts. Well, I could say so much about blog posts. Once again, a learning curve. And if you go to my website where my blog posts are, you can see, if you go back even 6 months ago, you can see it's evolving and a change. I'm learning the art of cross-pollination and tying everything together through my blog posts, through my newsletters, all of those kinds of things. And I'm also learning the wonderful art of, since I designed my own website, I also have the options on the search engine stuff.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm also learning. And actually, that stuff is actually harder to figure out, because it's not my gift. On how it works, and it's like my brain turns off and I fall asleep if I have to read about, this search engine and meta this and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, I just want it to work. See, it's that instant. But as far as blog posts, I'm learning the cross-pollination. So I write an article and I throw a video that's related to that article with a link on the blog post. And then I do my hashtags, which, as we've talked about, are super important. And those cross-pollinate not only all of the businesses and videos that I do. But, I look at my article. Let's say we're going to talk about green beans. I hashtag green, I hashtag bean, I hashtag green beans, I hashtag gardening, I hashtag, so I go down the list. And then I take that blog post, and I haven't been as good lately just because I've been busy, but I try to spread it out over Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and TikTok and wherever. And the one thing I do, which it's just my thing, I know a lot of people love to just have the same post across social media. I will keep the same picture, but I'll say a little bit of something different depending on where I'm going to be. LinkedIn is more business-esque type of people, so I will kind of lean it in that direction. Instagram are younger kids, so you just kind of do a quick title on there, not even a lot of information. They're more interested in looking at the picture. So it's that kind of thing. Blog posts, I think, are important, as far as tying into anybody's what they do. And I also, I do a lot of gardening blog posts, and occasionally I'll throw something totally different in there. So that's kind of I'm picking that apart on what I do with blog posts. How about you? What say you, Queenie?
I love the fact that blog posts give you a chance to keep your website active. And the reason I say it that way is when I have a Kathy chat, sometimes a Doc and Queenie, like our celebration of 3 years, when Karen sent the dynamic card that we got for our Doc and Queenie Day 3, that national day of, those videos are what I oftentimes put on my blog post. And just like you mentioned, cross-pollination. Now I am edifying on my blog post the person I did a Kathy chat on a couple weeks ago. And so I do, just like you mentioned, I don't do the same post every time. So in other words, I do a Kathy chat today, and now it's on social media like Facebook and LinkedIn usually. But then in a couple weeks, I take that YouTube link and put that on my blog and edify that person again, which now drives new traffic from my website to my YouTube channel to the person. Sometimes if you do a Google search on yourself and you've been on Kathy Chat, the Kathy Chat is what'll show up. And so the purpose of that is how much I promote you, which is the point for me to promote my friends. But it's back to that same story to see how social media works. So my blog posts are certainly informative. Be sure and connect with Dr. Laura Christine and learn what Kitchen Garden Expert is all about. Everything from garden to table and beyond. That is literally an opportunity to edify you. And then I would take a YouTube link so they could actually see a video of you to see if that's a good fit for them chemistry wise. And now they have your website address or your email or whatever you've offered to put in there. Now that is in my description section, and they can connect with you from my blog post and my YouTube channel to your website. And so I just think social media expertise and social media reach is huge, all stemming from a blog post. And then, of course, my website gets tons of traffic. So it really has worked great for me on these short 16 years.
Yeah. Yes, you're short 16 years. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. And if the folks out there don't know how to do a blog, what would you suggest?
What would I suggest? Well, I can't say push a button, but we've talked about this also. If you're not a writer and you might have a block, go to ChatGPT and type in a few things. Give me some details on green beans, and it'll give you a list. And then look at the list and go, I can write about how I cook green beans. And then just write. I don't know. That's kind of a very simple way. What would you say, Queenie?
Go to YouTube, how to create a blog post.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
that is exactly where I would send people, is because, and the reason for that is YouTube is a search engine, and you're going to find folks that are not the norm, if you will. And that's how I have made some very, very, very large connections. And I never know how far my reach has gone until random out there, all of a sudden somebody says, I saw your video on something. And in fact, the other day at an event, somebody says, oh my gosh, connect with Kathy Weaver. She does Words of Wisdom Wednesday. And I was like, you're not even in Fun Fearless Female Global Community of Christian Women with Delinda Lane. So how do you even know about that? They literally saw it accidentally pop up on my YouTube channel. And that's how the whole cross-pollination thing happened. So if you want to learn how to do blogging, go to YouTube, how to create a blog post, where to put it, how to upload it, how to download it, whatever you're going to do, and how to make the reach bigger, because now you can take that blog link and put it on your social media. So it really, cross-pollination, Doc, is a great word.
Well, and then one little suggestion on top of what you just said, go to other people's websites and look at what they do. You know, I stalk a lot of people in my industry just to kind of get a feel of how, Absolutely. You know, and I stalk the people that, you know, have hundreds of thousands of followers. And I look at their websites and I look at their blog posts and I look at how they arrange their blog posts and, you know, what's on there. And that also will give you a real good idea of structure, if that's important to you.
I love that.
So it's all about stalking.
Yeah. Now we've got a new hashtag. I love that. Thank you, Doc.
Stalking. Yeah. I'm not sure if we want to put that on Facebook. Gee, what happened to our page? It's gone.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, bye-bye.
So guess what, Queenie? It's time to go. Time flies.
I mean to tell you, on this fabulous holiday, Labor Day, USA and Canada, we so incredibly thank you for being with us. I love the fact that we get to be together every single Monday, Doc. I really mean that.
I do too. And you know, if you guys want to do a guest live, please reach out to either of us, and we would love to have you on guest live to help you with your algorithm on your YouTubes and, you know, just expand your reach. It's all about helping others. So thank you for joining us, whether it's live or on replay. And you can find Queenie, KathyWeaverKC.com, or all over social medias, Kathy Weaver KC, or myself, Doc, at KitchenGardenExpert.com, Kitchen Garden Expert all over social media. So until next time, everybody have a wonderful holiday and great week. And we will catch you right back here next Monday at
High Noon.
She loves it when I do that to her, and I love to do that. Yeah. Until next time, take care. Thank you, Queenie.
Thank you, Doc. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.